I am sorry, Evelyn. I wish I could undo it. And maybe the first time in this long, wretched life of mine I ever said that.
Oh yeah? And what's so special about me then?
You know yourself, you weren't a soldier, and you weren't my enemy. You were innocent, and it's the acts of a goddamn devil to let you hang. You told me so. And I felt it.
Good day, Angelo. I have nothing more to say to you. That's kind of cold.
Hmm.
So I'm guessing that they have more than one conversation together.
Yeah.
Good. Nice. That's cool. So when did I become a soldier exactly? I was just some kid running around trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
That is cool.
I
I
assume that
actually,
sexism played.
I think it was really neat that you did this whole situation, I guess you'd say, between Imoen and Angelo. And Jahir, you say that everything could find nature if it was properly cleansed and balanced. We get
It's
it.
valid. Yeah.
Hey, Jahir,
You'll
wait,
find
wait,
some even funnier occurrences of that later in the game.
wait, check this out. Hey, Jahir, is that someone defacing nature? Oh, works every time. All right, she'll leave us alone now. Um, where was I? No, I was saying. I thought that first conversation, this one as well, I thought was really well done.
Thank
And like I said, because Emo is one of my favorite characters, and Angelo is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters in this game as well. And it would have been sad if they couldn't be there together, but it is really nice to see that we're not just supposed to pretend, oh, okay, Angelo, it's fine now, you're good.
Yeah.
Though I'm curious, I want to ask you though, I don't know if he ever really talks about it or not, but like Angelo says, you don't have to like me, and I understand that he doesn't think that they ever would, but is Angelo the kind of guy that would want the party to like him? Like, does he care if like Chihira, Minsk, Eri, and Imoen actually like him?
Uh, oh, actually, there's a couple of things I can sort of bring in here. Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, Minsk,
I
why don't you
do,
go
yeah,
check
I
on
like.
Chihira? Sorry, you were saying before we were so rudely
Yeah.
interrupted?
Oh yeah, I mean, I also like the interaction between them, and I do think that if the PC doesn't romance Angelo, a lot of his character development does come through the relationship that he has with Emma, not romantic relationship, obviously, but
Right.
their conversations. And I think I got to the point before where I was going to talk about why I wanted to sort of make this mod, or why that character occurred to me when Kaliak asked me, should we make, another mod? And I think Angelo, I've always been very interested in villains, I think a lot of people are, but even more so in henchmen, like the guy who just sort of stands there behind the chair, and doesn't really say very much.
Right.
It's like, what sort of person is that who, has this career surfing this horrible, villain? I think Angelo, he's very much a born follower, he's a lackey, and he sort of realizes that he's not the protagonist of his own life. And he
Right.
followed Seraphic, partly because he's not the most moral person himself, but also because he has a very strong sort of sense of loyalty and sort of wanting to belong, to the in group. I sort of imagined him, when he was young, being sort of like Crab or Goyle, one of the sort of flunkies of the school bully.
That's actually kind of funny because I just saw Deathly Hollers last night.
Oh, what did you think of it? I actually saw it here.
Well, we have kind of varying views. My girl thought it was nice, but really, really slow in the middle. And I agree it was slow, but I thought it was very, very interesting slow. So, I've never actually read the books. I should probably preference that. I've seen all the
really?
movies, but I've never actually read the books.
Mm.
And I think that, and that's a lot of critics were saying, like, oh, it's so slow, nothing happens, and no, tons of stuff happens. It's just not people throwing spells. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I really liked it, and I'm interested in watching the last one too because, like I said, I've never read the book, so I don't know how it ends.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I liked this movie in particular a lot.
I like how they weren't in Hogwarts. It was different. They didn't have that safety net of being in the school.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, it's kind of funny. We were going back and we were just going to go watch the other six again because it's been forever since I've seen all of them. And man, those were different movies completely. And I like how she did
Oh,
that. How the first book's a kid's book, and then as her readers get older, the story gets more. So you try and defeat me, but try in
yeah.
vain. When I win, will end your pain. Heh.
For the last one.
Sorry, I figured I would try to.
There's 3 left.
Right. Well, no, there's 4 now because I had to put the hourglass somewhere else.
Oh, you still haven't solved Name Me and You Shall Surely Break Me.
Right. I haven't done this. I think this is probably Sundial because the Sundial will always march on. Who knows? Anyway, I figured I'd try and solve this while you were talking. No, you answered a question I was going to ask. Is that how Angelo? I mean, when I played the first game, Angelo just kind of came and went. I never even gave him a second thought, really. And I was wondering how, when you decide to make a character, or the fanfic, I guess is where it started for you, how do you go, Angelo's a good choice? Now, I know that some people just connect with other people for no reason whatsoever. Like, I don't know, you haven't played Mass Effect 2, but a lot of the viewers will know this one. There's a Quarian in it, one of the main characters named Leah Vielle, who you meet for 2 minutes. She's just a little side quest. She was accused of something, and you free her, and that's it. You never see her again. And for some reason, she's stuck in my head a lot. Like, I hope she's dealt with later. There's more to her. And most people would be like, why? You know what I mean? So I was thinking, was it like that? Is when you first played Baldur's Gate, did you for some reason remember Angelo? Like, was there something about Angelo that just stuck in your head?
Yeah, I guess it is just one of those mysterious things where when you see somebody who has a name, but you don't know very much about them, you sort of want to find out more.
Right, and then
um,
and with some people you do and some you don't, because I'm sure, like, there's someone you in Baldur's Gate 1 that you went and left and never thought about again.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's very much the thing. Oh, so to finally get around to answering your question, I think when you first meet Angelo, it seems as if he really doesn't care what other people think about him. And so far, Jahira is the only one he sort of tried to make nice to. And I do think that, deep down, and depending on what talks trigger for you, this may come out to a greater or lesser extent. But he does very much want to belong to a group and sort of, be trusted and sort of be, part of sort of the core, of the party.
Right, that is one thing that always struck me as a bit of a complex design of Angelo, is that he's very much kind of a loner, but he never wants to be alone.
Yeah.
Right, and then there's one more. Where is that one? No. Is it this one? No. Which is the one that I couldn't figure out? Yeah, let's try that one.
I think that's it, yeah.
I don't know if this is right, because that last one I just don't get. But we'll try it out. Is it?
Let's see.
I guess so. As you press the last item within its statue, the chest in the center of the chamber slams open. Slams open? The slam shut is usually what things say. Hang on.
Yes,
I can't see when you get in front of the TV screen like that. Go away. As you place your last item within the statue, it slams open. There's something within that was not there before. So I got him right. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Eagle Claw. You should probably rest now. I know, it was hard.
He's used up all his brain power.
Right? And he has even less now. They took his wisdom.
Yeah, he may regret that eventually.
Right? He can't even tie his own shoe now. Well, I guess that would be intelligence. Wisdom's more like Eagle Claw. What? Perhaps you should open the door before walking through it.
Yes.
All right. No, actually, I was thinking about just having them take my I don't have anything to identify with my intelligence, but I've heard later on that in the Underdark you run into mind flayers. And I know in the pen and paper game, I know that mind flayers have a nasty ability of actually decreasing your intelligence permanently, I believe. And so I would not want that to happen. Or, like, if that happens, I would not want to have less intelligence to begin with.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I may as well warn you, so to speak. In this game, it's not a permanent decrease, but they drain your intelligence. It's temporary, but if it drops below 0 while you're fighting them, you do die.
You just stand there and drool. That would be funny. Is like Eagle Claw just stops and starts kind of drooling, and everyone's like, oh, cool, armor class +1, huh? Can anyone use these stones? These stones, you equip them around your head, right?
Yeah.
It's like a helmet.
Yeah.
So this is one thing I've always wondered. If I get an item like this, do you think it's better to make my melee characters even harder to hit, or to make everyone as good as they can be? You know what I mean? There's two different schools of thoughts, I guess, because one school is you want your melee fighters as hard to hit as possible, but the other school is sooner or later someone's going to hit them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would say definitely always put the priority on the melee characters, because if somebody is hitting your mages, it's like almost already too late, and the best thing is always just to have the mages run away, because they're gonna get hit.
Right.
Even if their armor class is, a little better than demon ordinary. Yeah.
So then becomes the question, do you think it's better to leave them with a helmet, because helmet reduces critical hit chance, or give them an extra AC point?
Oh yeah, so what helmets have you got everybody wearing? He's got the very good helm of Baldur and Jahira.
Right, what is that? Oh, it just maxes your hit points and stuff. Jahira's just got a regular helm of infravision. Not that she really needs it. I just put it on her because she needed a helmet.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. What about Mince?
Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Mince just has a regular helmet. Impressive looking, but regular.
Yeah, I would give the stone to him, because if I'm not mistaken, because of a bug, the Ion Stone does prevent critical hits anyway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be like a very strict role player about it, you could...
I am not a very straight role player. In fact, I tweaked the game so that I can wear more than one magical item, because the game itself, like, you can only wear one ring of protection, or a magical armor, or a magical amulet. And that makes no sense whatsoever, because, I mean, like, for example, if you read the books like Drist or something, they are decked out in magical items. I mean, there's people in those stories that are head to toe nothing but magical items. So to think that you can only have one +1 ring at a time just never made any sense to me.
And maybe it's something they made up to balance it.
I thought so too, that it was probably a balancing issue. But the way I looked at that too is that this game is not so easy that I really have to... It's not like, I mean, so far it's not like that an extra +1 ring is really going to change things for me. It'll help, but it's not going to make it too underbalanced. Let's open this door. Like, that's another thing I thought of too. I tweaked it as well to where my Eagle Claw can put proficiency slots in... Where is that? Where can I show proficiency? I guess I can't. But, if you're a multi-class, you can, or any class really, other than warrior, you can only put 2 spots per weapon.
Yeah.
And to me, that didn't make much sense, because if I'm a fighter thief, whoa, what is this guy?
Ooh, oh, this fight's gonna be interesting.
Rahak, huh? And what are these? Fire Mephit, Smoke Mephit, Air Mephit. Now, these guys can only be hit with magical weapons, right?
The Rakshasa?
The Mephits.
Oh no, I think they can be hit with anything.
Okay,
I
well,
think.
Let's call Billy. Let's send you out there and get doing some damage. Let's get strength on her. Oh, she already has strength on her, doesn't she? Or maybe it went away by now. You know what? It's probably not working right now. So let's give her strength. Let's have Aerie cast something nasty, like, she has fireballs, right? Let's cast fireballs back there. Let's have Angelo cast some too.
Yeah, that's probably good for it.
No, he doesn't have fireballs up. Let's do monsters. Have monsters run some interference. And then Jahira. I was gonna have her go up and attack, but if I'm throwing fireballs, that's probably not a bright move. I guess I could have her use her wand, but I don't have many uses of that. Does she have anything? Let's just bless. Why not? I'll probably need that sooner or later. Alright, and then... Or sooner or later in this fight, what I mean. Those are his spells? Slow poison and cure light wounds, huh?